Roger, roger.
It's unfair.
We would be honored if you would join us.
What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all having an awesome day so far. Alright, so there are tons of debates in Star Wars fandom, and I want you to answer this question right now in the comments below before we start. Who won the actual duel? Palpatine or Mace Windu? And that is going to be the topic of today's video with some interesting information from the novelization. So, who really won? A lot of people say Mace, some say Palpatine. However, before we begin, I want to say in an interview with George, he did say that Mace beat him fair and square. However, as much as I respect and love George, I think he says some things sometimes in interviews just to shut the question down and move on. I say this because it just doesn't really make much sense with not only the scene, the character of Palpatine in general, but more importantly, this piece from the novelization right here led me to believe otherwise. Let me read it to you and then we can talk about it. The Coruscant nightfall was spreading through the galaxy. The darkness in the Force was no hindrance to the shadow in the Chancellor's office. It was the darkness. Wherever darkness dwelled, the shadow could send perception. In the night, the shadow felt the boy's anguish, and it was good. The shadow felt the grim determination of 4 Jedi Masters approaching by air. This, too, was good. As a Jedi shuttle settled to the landing deck outside, the shadow sent its mind into the far deeper night within one of the several pieces of sculpture that graced the office. An abstract twist of solid Neranium. Now, I'm going to stop there because that's another piece that I want to make for a different video where Palpatine actually collects his lightsaber, and how he does it is really, really cool and very, very cinematic. So I'm going to save that for another video. Now, while this is a very short piece, it's very impactful, and it's the only bit of info that leads me to believe Palpatine knew exactly what was happening. As it reads, the darkness in the Force was no hindrance to the shadow in the Chancellor's office, it was the darkness. This means that wherever darkness dwelled, the shadow could send his perception. It then says how he felt the boy's, which in other words is Anakin's, anguish. This was where Anakin was thinking and crying to himself in the Jedi Council chambers right here. Immediately, he felt the Jedi shuttle land on the landing deck outside and felt the 4 Jedi Masters with purpose approaching far before they even landed. He knew what needed to happen, and he had to take out the 3 weakest ones, only to leave Mace, who would create much confrontation in Anakin when he saw him laying there. Because, I mean, look, if Anakin were to kill Kolar or Saesee Tiin, it wouldn't really be as difficult of a decision to make compared to stopping Mace Windu, who he had more of a relationship with and who had the same authority as Yoda, pretty much. And I feel like killing Kid Fisto would just be difficult altogether because that guy's just so happy. Now, if Palpatine could feel Anakin's anguish and basically could throw his feelers into everything that was dark within the Force, then he knew exactly what he was doing. I think Sidious threw that fight. It just doesn't really make sense for him to lose so dramatically. If Palpatine were truly unleashed, he would have gotten kicked in the face, sure, you know, if that scene was legit, and then once he falls to the ground, he'd just have shocked Master Windu with lightning. Simple. Or use dark aura and confused Mace in a swirl of dark energy while he threw him out of the window. Let's take this scene right here for example. This whole thing is just acting on Palpatine's end. He's saying, please don't let him kill me, but he's the one that's shooting the lightning that's being reflected back onto himself. He knew what he was doing, he knew what was going on, but he was just playing the victim. I think Palpatine threw the fight. It was close, of course, Mace is strong, but he's not really much of a match for Palpatine's true power. And when I say true power, you know what I mean. At least, I don't think so, according to this passage. It's a toss-up. So let me know, what do you guys think? Mace or Palpatine? Thanks for watching today's video, everyone. I hope this put a bit of light on an age-old debate and question. I will see you all in the next episode of Star Wars Theory. Until then, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends, remember,
The Force will be with you always.